Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Rob. So glad to have you with me today. Fall is definitely here, and it is roaring in with a vengeance, man. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt today. It's very chilly, and along with it, we've had a very dry summer, and lots of fires going on. And so my wife sent me this story yesterday about an event that took place in California over Labor Day weekend. And as I read it, really kind of hit me. And so I thought I'd share this with you. This is an editorial written by Daisy Luther from the Organic Prepper. And I'll let you decide. Man, it is frightening, but some amazing and awesome people out there in the world. It's Labor Day weekend. You're heading out with the family to celebrate summer's last hurrah. You decide to go camping at a remote campground, a peaceful reservoir, which is only reachable by narrow, curving road. Then, suddenly that place that looked like paradise turns into the location that may end up being your grave. Your peaceful weekend becomes a fight for survival. This is exactly what happened to more than 1,000 people who went camping at Mammoth Pools Reservoir this weekend in California. A fast-moving wildfire called the Creek Fire erupted and spread rapidly. The fire devoured 45,500 acres within the first 24 hours. 45,000 acres in less than 24 hours. That's crazy. And jumped the San Joaquin River, trapping people all over the forest in campgrounds. On Saturday, despite the mandatory evacuation, many campers were left with absolutely no way to evacuate the area since there was only one road in and one road out. There's an immediate threat to life, the sheriff's office warned. The area is being closed to public access. Take action immediately, he said. As the roads closed and the fire spread, 1,000 people were trapped near Mammoth Pool Reservoir, roughly 23 miles southeast of Oakhurst. Those trapped were told to shelter in place, even if it meant getting into the water. Then it went on to say the evacuation was not going to be simple. Numerous injuries occurred. In what must have been a terrifying scenario, numerous injuries occurred to people fleeing the fire as they made life and death decisions. Many people suffered burns and broken bones trying to escape the fire at all costs, according to the Fresno County official. Helicopter crews began rescuing people trapped by the wildfire at Mammoth Pool, Cascade Woods, and Minarets about 8:30 p.m. Saturday. Crews first rescued about 60 people who were treated for injuries at Fresno Yosemite International Airport. By the end of the night, 218 people were rescued by helicopter, Lynch said. About 20 victims were transported to area hospitals with injuries, including severe burns, broken bones, cuts, and scrapes. Somewhere around 800 people managed to evacuate the fire, but, however, more people remained stranded, and there was absolutely no way out. Dennis Drake was camping with his brother's family when they noticed the smoke in the distance, about 50 miles away. In a matter of hours, we were almost completely surrounded by fire, almost 360 degrees, Drake says. The creek fire covered 2,000 acres Saturday morning. It ballooned to more than 73,000 acres by Sunday night. Drake and his brother's family tried to drive out of harm's way, but didn't get far. There's fires on both sides of us. We have absolutely no protection, he says. Everyone in the area scrambled. The reservoir then became their haven. The reservoir at that point was about 40 feet down below full capacity for this time of the year. We know we have gravel, rocky area that's not going to burn, Drake said. Everybody's saying, "Get under the water, get under the water," and get under the water we all did. We were dunking every 10 to 15 seconds just trying to survive. So if you can picture them in this reservoir, floating in the reservoir, going under the water and back out because of the heat. They had to go under and back out just to survive. However, 200 people were still cut off from rescuers. On the other side of the lake, at least 200 people remained cut off from rescue and the possibility of evacuation. CAL FIRE was unable to reach the campers, and that's when the California National Guard came in with rescue that should go down in history, and you're about to hear why. Don't know if you guys have seen this going around, but Cal National Guard aviators left their big brass ones hanging out on this one. 2 air crews, a Black Hawk and a Chinook, flew at night with nods, through high winds with burning embers, heavy smoke, and difficult terrain to rescue over 200 people completely cut off and trapped by fire. With it closing in on them last night, they made multiple trips to get everyone out. CAL FIRE waved them off and told them not to go in because the conditions were way too dangerous. They said, blank this, and they went anyway. They knew that these folks were not going to make it, and this may be their only saving grace to get them out of there, was to go in, even though they were told and waved off not to do it. Our hats off to the pilots and crew. I hope they're able to get you guys wheelbarrows big enough for their cojones. Take that how you want. Colonel Dave Hall, commander of the 40th Combat Aviation Brigade, says that military technology made the mission possible, particularly with the night vision equipment that allowed them to see through the smoke to where the survivors were. Hal says the Chinook helicopter and the Black Hawk helicopter made 3 trips each, sometimes carrying up to 60 people to capacity. It was pretty cramped, tight in there. We do not like to operate that way, but because of the circumstances of this being an urgent situation threatening life, the pilots in command made the smart decision by loading them to get on the helicopter and loading as many as they could on that lift, Hall said. Boy, what can you say? You know, hats off to those guys who risked their lives, even when being told not to go in, to save over 200 people. Truly amazing. It kind of makes you think that sometimes when our gut is telling us something and others are telling us something else, sometimes we need to rely on those feelings that we have and not hesitate, just move and act. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you stay safe wherever you are, because the fires are raging over here in Oregon and California and all parts west. We got some major fires over on the west side of the state. Anyway, stay safe, and until tomorrow, be safe.